So it's been about a good 2 years since I've had Under Night in Birth EXE latest. And so I finally get to talk about it. I can easily say it's one of the greatest fighting games I've ever played. Now, about 3 years ago, like literally a year before I got EXE latest, I bought the original PS3 version. I had a blast with it, but it had no tutorial mode, had no story mode, and some of the stuff didn't work out right. If I try to do a low hit with hide or something like that, it would never register even when the character was down. Unlike in EXE latest where you can actually do that. I wasn't invested enough in the original PS3 version to keep on playing. But with this new iteration, EXE latest, and we're getting Uni Clear later, it's still a silly name for me, but you know, this is anime as hell, so I can embrace it. But it's still a great game. It's a nice introduction to the series for a fighting game scrub such as myself, because I suck at fighting games. It's a game that's easy to pick up, but it's hard to master in the grand scheme of it all. So it's not real. I guess I could call this kind of like a review per se. I put this in the pros and cons list because of how I do like reviews. I like to do that easy. I start with the pros. I start with what I like about the game, and then I bust out the things I don't like, which is put into the cons category. So, without further ado, let's get into the things I actually like. I guess the gameplay, obviously, since it's a fighting game, should be in the very first category. Of course, the very first pro category. So it's a fighting game that lives or dies by its gameplay. Like, literally, a fighting game does live or die by the gameplay. And Eunice doesn't disappoint, really. The original version, while great, didn't have the proper balancing and lacked any way to teach you the gameplay without having to look it up online. For me, personally, which is not good. Now, you can't look up online, no combos from other people and stuff like that, but if there was no way for the game itself to teach you, I'm not interested, you know? I like Arcana Heart, but like Arcana Heart 3, but it does not have a tutorial in game, and it's hard for me to go back because I'm not familiar with the structure of it. I'm just like, I'm just throwing out buttons and I'm not even learning anything. So that's why it was hard for me to go back and Arcana Heart so much. But now I can actually combo with characters I couldn't before in the first game. Characters like Linne, Hyde, or Akatsuki, because those characters I could not combo with at all in the very first PS3 game. There were some hits that would just go right through when you know they should hit, and they do work in the PS4 version, so yeah. But the grid mechanic is a personal favorite of mine. Every single action you do while fighting, something as simple as a backstep, affects how the grid works. Getting hit, walking backwards, whiffing throws, and getting grabbed penalizes you while being aggressive towards you. Awards you kind of like a whole tug of war kind of thing where you and your opponent fight for the grid. Fight for the grid, oh my god. I would go over the other mechanics, really, but holy crap, there's too much to go over, really, for me. And everyone knowing how I'm saying all this most likely knows, how the game runs. So I'm not going to make this longer than it has to. Plus, I'm not even that far into learning the game actually works. So I have a lot to learn. Even though I had this game for 2 years, my bad. I still got a lot to learn, I still have a lot to learn. And all you need to know is that the game is solid and it's grounded. And it's something I gotta get used to as I'm more the aerial-based fighters. I'm used to the epic, crazy, wacky anime BS that I get in BlazBlue and Guilty Gear and crap. I got so used to that, and then going back to Under Night, it's like a surprise. Like, ooh, this game's actually pretty damn grounded. I don't play that many grounded fighters unless you're talking about like Street Fighter or something, or Street Fighter, really. I like all these characters. The characters of Eunice are both simple and good enough at the same time, and plus they're wacky enough to latch onto. They're all well designed with awesome moves. I'll admit that. And I do like their sprite work. Their sprite work actually amazes me more than BlazBlue sprite work, to how smooth and clean they look on occasion. Wallstein sprite work comes to mind. It's just insane. Like, you get that dude with the big ass arms, and the fact that obviously you don't have no hitbox in those arms, so like you're hitting nothing. But the fact that they made a sprite that freaking big with his big ass arms in the first place is freaking weird. It's crazy, and I like it. Now, while I don't have a personal favorite sprite, I did latch into Hyde pretty quickly since I like the easier use main protagonist kind of characters. Like, whatever fighting game comes out, I will latch onto the main character the most because they're the ones I feel like would be the easiest to play because, you know, I suck. But Hyde is pretty refreshing to see as a shonen protagonist. He seems like, you know, kind of like the generic high school student on the surface, but he's still very inexperienced in combat. He doesn't come up with no ass. I mean, for what little of Under Night Story we have, he doesn't come out with any ass pulls, crazy. He's just like just some dude who just wants to get this over with, you know? He had to pretty much be taught to how to use the insulator. He's not fully aware about the weapon or the Hollow Knight, and he just wants to live a normal life. But he has to deal with the crazy crap at the night. And he even bounces off some other characters like, you know, like Orie, Linne, Nanase, Batista, Yuzuriha, who may or may not all have crushes on him. I can definitely say that maybe Linne has a crush on Hyde. I could say Orie definitely does. Nanase, Tsundere, and I don't even like her in the first place. Batista's also an interesting one, and Yuzu is big sis. So, you know. Hyde harem. But, yeah, but anyway, you got characters like Linne, a young girl who's actually super old and swaps between the bodies of young girls. You got Wallstein, a big hulking grappler with arms so big they nearly touch you mid-screen. Orie, the strictly pure, cool-ass nice girl who's apparently has a persona. She's the daughter of P3's protagonist in Mitsuru, Don't At Me. And also, my boy Makarva up in this piece with his noodle arms. And a sweet cast of 20 characters, even with some guest characters in the form of Eltnum or Sion from Melty Blood, another game made by French Bread who needs to put Melty Blood on consoles, man. Put everything on PC is not my style, dude. Put Melty Blood on consoles, damn it. Come on, or at least just do a port. Put it on the PS4 store. I don't know. Anyway, and Akatsuki from Akatsuki Blitzkampf. Because, I mean, it's weird, like those two characters, Eltnum and Akatsuki, but I'm not gonna get into that. It's weird, but anyway. As for the 4 new characters introduced in Eunice, I am digging Enkidu and Wagner. I like Mika with her huge-ass Paco Bell cannon arms and her silly mannerisms, though her voice is somewhat kills it for me, man. I'm glad Crosstag has a dub, because, dude, Mika as her original voice actress, no. But I like everything else about Mika but the voice. Goddamn. And then you have Phonon, whose design looks cool to me. And while I'm not a whip kind of guy when it comes to gameplay, I gave her a shot and I loved her gameplay. So now I actually want to try her out when I get the chance to dive deeper into her style of play. And while I'm not really a fan of the Japanese voice cast, Batista's little sound effects when she attacks and all the English that pops in the game makes it for me. like I'm not really that much of a Japanese voice cast guy. I prefer dubs all the time. But I do like Batista's little bam 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 pow pow pow, like all that. I like that. I like that. It's cute. It's like it shows that she's more than just a robot. She just like, you know, has that little cute like a little girl. She was like actually like, shooting like a gun or some crap like that. Like, she's going like pew 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 or something like that. Also, the only character I could pretty much don't like in Under Night is Nanase. Like Nanase can go to hell. I don't care. I could literally do without her. I don't care. You know, it's sad in this current day of fighting games. You know, they have less and less modes as time goes on, really. I mean, I'm looking at you, Crosstag, because goddamn, you are barren as hell. But it's nice to see what Eunice has to offer as content. Now, sure, mostly it's from the original version. But, hell, I doubt it. Most of the people play the original version, so who cares, you know? But the tutorial is a godsend. Thank you, Madoka. It's a godsend, really. Like, that was my main gripe about the original PS3 version. It had no tutorial. I need a tutorial in my fighting games, man. If I don't have a tutorial in my fighting games, I'm pretty much turned off already. I'll learn how to play, you know? I'll get into it, but if there's nothing else for me to learn and I won't know other than looking online, it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, I want to go to the tutorial and then look up other combos and stuff online. I want to be able to lead into that, not just be forced to right off the bat. But anyway, you have your standard arcade mode that provides some snippets of the character situations in the Hollow Knight. You got score attack, time attack, survival mode, which is man to me, and the fact that you have a trophy that requires you to beat 50 matches, oh no, dude, no. Anyway, Chronicles modes that introduce a new story that really should have been in the first game. How do you introduce a story mode later? Then again, I said that for Street Fighter, because, I mean, these games should really have story modes on launch. If you're planning to do story modes on launch, you really should just keep them there. I mean, come on, dude. Anyway, you got versus mode, obviously, network, replay and gallery, as well as customization mode, where you can purchase colors. And a lot of them cost a lot of IP. I don't know what it stands for, but it is the currency in this game. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the requirements to get all those colors is asinine, really. Considering the fact that if you go through a whole run of arcade mode or certain modes, you only get about 5,000 a piece, 5,000 to 6,000 a piece, maybe 4,000. And the fact that colors itself cost 2,500 is a lot. Like, really? You have to go through a ton of arcade runs, or just, fight online. But I like to grind that out more so I can go online, not just being forced to go online and grind colors. But anyway, you got tiles, plates, and you got, other stuff you can buy at the in-game currency. Like, you can buy colors, as I said before. You can buy artwork. That's pretty much it. I wish you had, like, music options. Oh, crap, I'm actually going to get to the music options. Let me just transition to that. The music in Under Night is really great. And while it's not my personal favorite fighting game soundtrack, the OST of Eunice is actually pretty damn good. And it captures the mood and the environments really well of the night. It really does capture it well. See, my personal favorites are Scraper Sky High, Hyde's theme, Nightwalker, which is Linnea's theme, Maximize Power, which is Wallstein's theme, Blood Drain Again, which is Elton's theme, and 1,000 Years of Red and Black, which was the very first opening for the original Under Night. And this is what makes me sad about some of the opening themes. You don't even get to play them. You don't even get to fight to them in game. Now, there's some things I can understand about that because, some games can be, some of the music could be owned by, because of the singer or whatever, they're owned by not even the people who even made the game. They're just there for the opening. And that's what my guess why you don't see BlazBlue's openings no more post Continuum Shift. Other than Shinsuo, but Shinsuo was actually made by Daisuke himself. So, I guess they can get away with that. But openings, actual openings, Unknown Actor, which I'm surprised they made it in Cross Tag. So, if Unknown Actor made it as a battle theme in Cross Tag, I have no idea what the excuse is for not being able to fight to it in Under Night. It's weird, but hell, the new themes of the characters are pretty good. Something about more positive. Extreme theme for Enkidu, Flaming Destiny for Wagner, Forceful Step for Mika, and while I can't remember the name, of Phonon's right off the top of my head, but they're all amazing remixes of Unknown Actor. Now, if you heard closely, they are remixes of Unknown Actor. Either that, my ears is garbage, but they do sound like the song. Even the menu, the network theme, the character select screen are calming, and they pump you up for a fight. They pump you up, despite being how calm they are, and it kind of reflects the Hollow Night. It's just a night where just dark and dim, but you gotta fight for your life. One thing I don't like, and this has nothing to do with the music per se, the actual music itself, but it's the localization. The localization of Under Night kind of pisses me off because they change the names of the music. And even though when you change it back to Japanese text, the name of the music is there. So, and what I understand, most of the music, with the exception of maybe Yuzu's theme and Nanase's theme, that most of those songs were already in English to begin with. The names of the songs were already in English. So why the hell change them in localization? That makes no sense. I hate when people do that in localization. When this term is already in English, don't change it to something else. That crap happened to me in BlazBlue. When Kagura had a move called Vehemence Edge. I think that was his drive. And that was his overdrive. And they changed it to something called Infinite Coupling. If something's already in English, when they made it in Japanese, don't localize it to English again. Don't make it something else. That pisses me the hell off, dude. If my name is Kevin, and if someone names me someone like Kevin in a Japanese game, don't change my name to someone like Mark in the English version. That pisses me the hell off. Okay, I had to get that out. I just had to get that out. Sorry, I didn't mean to fly out the hand like that, but that pisses me off so badly. But anyway, oh yeah, I don't like Nonsense theme. There's that. I don't like Nonsense theme. Moving on. I've always been a sucker for the city at night kind of vibe. I really have. I love big ass night cities. And Unis delivers on that with some cool, albeit rather kind of generic stages. I mean, considering the fact that Under Night pretty much takes place obviously in the real world, kinda. Most of the stages you're gonna see are just metropolitan stages with buildings in the background and stuff like that. Like just regular place like a playground and crap like that. It's just, but they do the stages well, They're kind of generic stages, but I like them because they fit the game they're from, They fit the game, they fit the mood, they fit, it's just stage at night. You're never going to see any kind of day stage on Under Night. Like, hell, even in the indoor stages are most likely still at night. Because, I mean, what the hell are you going to do? You can't fight during the day of Under Night, so, there's that. But anyways, there's just a few more stages and a tiny bit more variety in them. Now, that would have been great, I would have loved a little bit more variety, but what we have is good. My favorite one is like I think it's the Metropolitan one, like the one with the buildings, like the one with the actual like big ass, like the one literally in the town crossing, That's my favorite one. Mainly because it captures like my favorite part. Like I like cities at night, dude. I like that you can walk through the night and see some big ass building lit up in lights. I like that. I really do. And I wish more games did that, man. I like big cities. I like big city levels. I like it. I really do like big. I've always loved big city levels, man. And yeah, that's pretty much that section before I get into the cons. The cons, look, for the cons, this is my personal opinion. This is all stuff I want to just get out. This is my my opinion. I'm not targeting towards anyone personally. I want to say this every time I start, making these videos because I intend to target anyone with these. And my cons ain't really extreme, they're kind of minor, but let's move on to the cons. I can say I'm somewhat a fan of visual novels, and when I heard that Unis actually had an actual story mode, whereas the PS3 version lacked one, I was pretty stoked to learn about who these characters are, as I only knew of them from snippets through arcade mode and cross-tag battle at the time. So when I booted up Chronicles mode, I was pumped for about the first 10 minutes. The entire mode, for lack of a better word, is boring. The presentation is visually boring, and the characters really don't emote all that much, and they don't even have different poses. And that's the thing. That's one main reason I have for cross tag, because like you don't even see no mouth flaps, you don't see them talk, but you don't even really see them change their like models. Like they're the same. Like, they didn't even draw new models for that game. They just used the ones from the character select screen. And while I'm over it now, it's still kind of boring to look at. I'm not gonna lie. If I see these characters as character select screen models, like their little portraits, I don't want to see them again. Hell, BlazBlue doesn't do that. Like base BlazBlue doesn't do that. They make all new models for characters. So, anyway, the one major thing I like about the presentation of BlazBlue is that they at least talked. You saw mouth flaps going on. They had different actions for the situation. It all came to a head in CF, which they lifted the ideas they did from X-Blaze, and it bumped up the quality on what they could do with the 2D portraits. That's what I liked about Central Fiction. Like, they got all, you can see people's back sprites now. You can see them actually try to move. The action, like it feels like X-Blaze. It feels like they actually got the ideas from X-Blaze to just apply it to Central Fiction. I like that. But the problem with Unis is that they all stand in one place. They just talk to you. They just talk to you. And I can't really say much about that, considering they went through the trouble I mentioned. It's long ass story mode, and French Bread is not known to have a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. The funny that the problem persists in arcade mode, but at least for that, they're only in shorter segments. With arcade mode, you only do it like 3 times. Several if you're like Elton them. Like there's shorter segments. They don't drag out for multiple chapters for each segment. And like there are 20 story chapters, and several chapters within at least 19 of them, and they're so long. Like you can't even put your controller down to let it scroll. Like I think you can. But like there's no dub for it, which, you know, honestly, again, French Bread was never going to dub it, but like I like, it's just like with these, I think I've been spoiled by BlazBlue and Persona, because with visual novels being in Japanese and there's no pizzazz to it, it's super boring, you know? Like, Under Night Story Mode has cool ideas, but it is so boring. Like, I couldn't even be bothered to, like, I finished it, but I had to force myself to finish it because I want to see what it lead up. Like, things just stretch on an enormous amount of time, especially when Chaos is talking, dude. Have you seen Chaos's scenes in the game? He just never shuts the hell up, and I get it, he's the smart guy, but all his lines just go on for like a millennium, man. And all the characters just stretch out their dialogue. Like, it's like, it felt like a conversation that should have ended minutes ago. And since the whole presentation is kind of boring, you know, really. I mean, hell, I made skits, but they didn't cost me no money. They didn't cost me voice actors. Like, there had to be a little bit more something, you know, to do that. But other than a character standing with a black bar text with letters on it, something like, and you know what? I might as well fuse this, right? With the localization typos, because the amount of typos in this game is kind of unbelievable. This was a rushed localization job, and you know, I should be grateful that they localized in the first place. But if you're gonna half-ass it like this, I shouldn't. The best thing I should say shouldn't be, "Oh, I'm glad they localized it in the first place." No, I shouldn't. That's just sweeping the problem under the rug. No, that's just sweeping it under the rug. Hell no. I hate when people say that. It's like, well, it would be grateful they just did this in the first place. So hell no. To hell with that. If they're gonna do it in the first place, they should do it right. Okay? I can understand the occasional mistype or whatever, but there's so many. I counted myself more than 100 different types of typos in Chronicle mode and Fury tutorial. Okay, the game's localization was rushed, and I can easily see that. Anyone can see that. If you know English, you can see that. And yeah, this is kind of still talking about what I said about earlier about renaming the song names. Don't do that. Freaking Maximize Power now is Power Surge. Skyscraper High is now Sky High Scraper. Forceful Step is now Mighty Stride. Bad Surface is now On the Surface, and yada yada yada. Like, I have never heard this crap happen in BlazBlue. It never happened in Guilty Gear. It never happened in Dragon Ball FighterZ. It never happened in any other game Arxis did. With the localization, they sounded pretty much fine. With some dumb things like me, I gotta say, but they never had this bad. So, yeah. My cons, I don't have really many of them, but that one right there, the whole the changing of the song names and the Chronicles mode, how boring, like, those are the main things that piss me off. Those are the main things that kind of get me up in arms, because I'm like, man, really? But yeah, let's just move on to my last one. Just I was going to talk about the player base, but this is like, it doesn't matter now. Like, the whole player base thing doesn't matter. I don't even have no complaints about it. But yeah, one more thing, and it's just like, I'm done, and that's it. I guess my final con is just at least 2 of the characters and their voices. Now, this ain't personally against the voice actors, because, you know, voice direction is a thing, you know. But this is pretty much against Nanase and Hilda. Well, mostly Nanase. I don't like Nanase, dude. I don't. I like her gameplay, but Nanase, that's it. Like, when you play a fighting game character, you may like something about their gameplay. You may like the character you're playing as, but character's important too. Like, a character with just a bunch of cool moves, for me personally, I mean, the character would be someone I hate with good moves, and I still wouldn't play him. You know, because the personality is important, you know? Personality, that's why I played Ragnar, despite me not being able to be good at him. I like the character. because I, stayed with the character so long, I like the character and that's why I played him. But, just fighting abilities alone, that doesn't really latch me onto a character. The personality is also important. And Nase, I don't like her. She sucks. Okay? Like, tsundere characters for me, it's a hit and miss. There are some tsundere characters I really do like. Taiga, Rin, Tosaka, Asaka, Langley, Soryu. Those are the three main ones that come on top of my head. There's more, but those are the three ones I like the most. Because there's more to them than just, tsundere, yeah. There's more to them than that, especially Asuka. Asuka has a bunch of problems, but I like her character. Because of those problems, I like her character. But Nase is pretty much surface level tsundere. Like, I don't know if I missed something in the Chronicles mode, because, like, I tried to keep my attention up just to learn more about her, because I know she was friends with Phonon. And she had short hair back then, which I kind of wish she kept. I liked her much. I liked her back then, but Nase is someone I can, like, her voice acting, her theme song, her personality, like, her gameplay does not, I repeat, do not outweigh those three problems I have about her. She actually made me appreciate Mika more, and I hate Mika's voice. Mika's voice tears me down, but she's fun to play as. I like her personality to a certain extent because she's funny. Even though her voice is grating on my ears, she makes me laugh. I can actually, if someone makes me laugh, I can be entertained by that character somewhat. Not to say it's just like not fun. If she was like a person you stood next to, no. I don't like surface level tsunderes all that much, really. Like, there's gotta be more to them than that. But there's gotta be more. And I don't like Nase, dude. Like, it's like, okay, like her, like, being mad at Hive because of getting her accidentally bit besides, just having someone to blame on, and there's like no, what you call it? There's no, oh my god, there's like no more than that. There's no more than that. Just her getting mad, like, oh my god, Hive freaking got me turned into a void. And I'm like sitting here, it's like, well, I mean, it ain't that bad. I mean, you got access to these powers now. You're still the same. You're not dead. I mean, she still looks the same. She's not like some kind of grotesque monster, so she's kind of getting mad at Hyde for nothing. Hell, if I got bitten by a void and became all-powerful with no drawbacks, hell yeah, I take that, but... And she got to blame Hyde for defiling her or some bullcrap like that. Like, that generic, oh, you touched me, therefore I'm ruined bullcrap. I hate that, dude. It's like that. It pisses me off. But yeah, Nase, I could just remove from the roster and not give a damn. I like her gameplay, I'll admit that, but her theme song sucks ass, the worst song in the game. Her voice is annoying as hell, and her overall personality sucks. Shoo. And I don't like Hilda's laugh or moans either. I don't like Hilda. I don't like Hilda. You can just, you can just yeet Hilda out. Like, okay, that's a stretch. I actually do like Hilda, just not her laugh. Like I gotta turn my TV down every time I do that. Despite me living by myself, I have the urge to turn the TV down, so I won't have to hear that. Just damn, dude. I've ranted about this for too long. Just move on to the conclusion. Damn it. In short, Under Night in Birth, EXE latest, silly ass name aside, is a great game. It has great music, unique characters, and I like it. I really do, and I'm glad it got more attention as time went on. People started to notice it more when it got into Cross Tag Battle. People started to know more when it got into Evo. I like this. It's nice to see the community, the Under Night community. They don't even have the level to be toxic or nothing. That's the good thing about the Under Night community. They're so tight knit, and they can make fun of the game and other crap. They make so many cool memes that just stick together. I like it. They don't have the toxicity of other fighting game communities. Every fighting game community has its own toxic characters, especially BlazBlue. I mean, BlazBlue's kind of like dimmed more, but it's kind of like toned down more, but you're still people there. Guilty Gear has it. Like, all fighting games have it. I use BlazBlue and Guilty Gear a lot because those are the ones that stuck with the most. But there's other fighting games I've played that have their fair share of like toxic people in their fan base. I play a lot of fighting games, and I can definitely tell they're not all squeaky clean. But Under Night is not really that toxic, really. You know, there's not really. I haven't seen anyone. Most of the people just make fun of just just make fun of everything, and I like that. They could take fun of it without getting pissy over everything. Maybe because Under Night's wasn't really that known, so there's not many people could come into the fandom and get toxic. So I like that. I like that. Now, while the actual presentation of the story, while the presentation of the story wasn't very good, the localization shows a very huge lack of care. But past that, the whole package should be played and enjoyed by more fighting game enthusiasts. Really. I mean, well, the ones that aren't complete assholes. But yeah, Under Night, great game. Solid game. If I were to give a rating score, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. Like, literally, the whole game's a great package, But the Chronicle mode and the localization do fall way under. So, but other than that, I'm out, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Because I wasn't even planning on doing this Under Night review. So, I'm out, guys. See y'all next time. Hope you have a great day. And peace.